Her eyes, her cheekbones, her hair, her boobs. Sarah sighed. "Shall I go on?" Oliver waved his pudgy little hand dismissively. "You're much prettier than she is, Sarah. I'll never forget the first time I saw you walking across Mason's yard. Nearly stopped my heart. If memory serves, I made quite a fool of myself back then." "You asked me to marry you. Several times, in fact." "My offer still stands." "I'm flattered, Ollie, but I'm afraid it's out of the question." "Am I too old?" "Not at all." "Too fat?" She pinched his pinkish cheek. "Just right, actually." "So what's the problem?" "I'm involved." "In what?" "A relationship." He seemed unfamiliar with the word. Oliver's romantic entanglements rarely lasted more than a night or two. "Are you talking about that bloke who drives the flashy Bentley?" Sarah sipped her drink. "What's his name, this boyfriend of yours?" "Peter Marlowe." "Sounds made up." "With good reason," thought Sarah. "What's he do for a living?" blurted Oliver. "Can you keep a secret?" "My darling Sarah, I have more dirty secrets stored inside my head than MI5 and MI6 combined." She leaned across the table. "He's a professional assassin." "Really? Interesting work, is it?" Sarah smiled. It wasn't true, of course. It had been several years since Christopher worked as a contract killer. "Is he the reason you came back to London?" probed Oliver. "One of the reasons. The truth is I missed you all terribly. Even you, Oliver." She checked the time on her phone. "Oh, hell. Will you be a love and pay for my drink? I'm late." "For what?" "Behave, Ollie." "Why on earth would I want to do that? It's so bloody boring." Sarah rose, and winking at Julian, went into Jermyn Street. The rain was suddenly coming down in torrents, but a taxi soon came to her rescue. She waited until she was safely inside before giving the driver the address of her destination. "Cheney Walk, please. Number 43. 2. Cheney Walk, Chelsea. Like Sarah Bancroft, Victor Orloff believed that life was a journey best taken without aid of a map. Raised in an unheated Moscow apartment shared by 3 families, he became a billionaire many times over through a combination of luck, determination, and ruthless tactics that even his apologists described as unscrupulous, if not criminal. Orloff made no secret of the fact that he was a predator and a robber baron. Indeed, he wore those labels proudly. "Had I been born an Englishman, my money might have come to me cleanly," he dismissively told a British interviewer after taking up residence in London. "But I was born a Russian, and I earned a Russian fortune." In point of fact, Victor Orloff was born a citizen not of Russia, but of the Soviet Union. A brilliant mathematician, he attended the prestigious Leningrad Institute of Precision Mechanics and Optics, and then disappeared into the Soviet nuclear weapons program, where he designed multi-warhead intercontinental ballistic missiles. Later, when asked why he had joined the Communist Party, he admitted it was for reasons of career advancement only. "I suppose I could have become a dissident," he added, "but the Gulag never seemed like a terribly appealing place to me." As a member of the pampered elite, Orloff witnessed the decay of the Soviet system from the inside, and knew it was only a matter of time before the empire collapsed. When the end finally came, he renounced his membership in the Communist Party and vowed to become rich. Within a few years, he had earned a sizable fortune importing computers and other Western goods for the nascent Russian market. He then used that fortune to acquire Russia's largest state-owned steel company and Rusoil, the Siberian oil giant. Before long, Orloff was the richest man in Russia. But in post-Soviet Russia, a land with no rule of law, Orloff's fortune made him a marked man. He survived at least 3 attempts on his life and was rumored to have ordered several men killed in retaliation. But the greatest threat to Orloff would come from the man who succeeded Boris Yeltsin as president. He believed that Viktor Orloff and the other oligarchs had stolen the country's most valuable assets, and it was his intention to steal them back. After settling into the Kremlin, the new president summoned Orloff and demanded 2 things: his steel company and Rusoil. "And keep your nose out of politics," he added ominously. "Otherwise, I'll cut it off." Orloff agreed to relinquish his steel interests, but not Rusoil.